Welcome to Fullerton College football on Sportsnet, USA.net. Hi, I'm Mark Pavlovich along with Corey Neyland and Ryan Osborn. We are the voices for Fullerton College sports. And tonight, well, it's 2-0 San Diego Mesa in conference taking on 2-0 Fullerton College in conference. The winner's feeling good. The loser, well, they're probably looking at a bowl game later on Sportsnet, USA.net. San Diego Mesa is going to receive to start off this game. All in white, the Hornets in their gray and blue here in this game on Sportsnet, USA.net.
Timian Jackson and Colton Westbrook is going to Jackson, Mark.
Jackson's got it, turns at 25, gets taken down from behind, and is down at the 23. San Diego Mesa, come on out. Gunnar Gray should be quarterback. We heard he'll be out there tonight. We'll see if he does come out at quarterback. So Gray at quarterback comes out. He'll start things off at the 23-yard line for San Diego Mesa. Tight formation by San Diego. Fake it to Jackson. Go the opposite direction. Turn the corner. Gain of 10. So they faked it to Jackson. Come back the other direction. Hand it off to Josh Butler. And Josh Butler picks up an easy. They're going to run him out right at just about a foot short. And now it is 10 yards. I couldn't figure it out when they didn't move the chains because I thought he had the 10 yards, which he does. Butler stays in at running back. Gunner at quarterback. First down and 10. Goes back out to Butler. Butler goes down the sidelines. So Butler, first two times out there, leading running back for this team. He's got 228 yards this season, but Corey only averages 38 yards a game.
That's okay. He does a lot of things out of the backfield, not simply running the ball, but he also does, as you saw, has good hands and be a receiver.
5 wide for San Diego Mesa. Gunner changes things at the line of scrimmage. Jackson looks over at him, points towards the backfield. See if anybody starts in motion. They don't. Going up, looking for Jackson down the middle. Nice one-on-one coverage. Down the field, Jackson couldn't get to the ball, so he is down altogether. So right now we're audio only here on sports@usa.net. Third down and 7, so stick with us. See if we can clean up the video for you here on sports@usa.net. San Diego Mesa, third down and 7 from the 36-yard line. Gunner goes back, looking, trying to get it. He steps away from, thought he could get away in the clearing. Corey Neyland, the door shut on him quickly.
Yeah, initial pressure came from Eric Hale on the right side. Sorry, Eric, been calling you Blake all season long, former Hornet. Eric applied the pressure. Marcellus Gaines was there. It goes down as no gain because he was tackled at the line of scrimmage, so no sack for Gaines.
Aiden Koenig back deep for the Hornets. He'll stand at the 27-yard line to get this punt. Flag on the play. Shank should go out of bounds, and I'm going to say they're going to mark it. Well, they gave a generous mark. I'd mark. So they're going to mark it off against the Hornets. So we're going to re-punt again. Koenig goes back. Last line immediately gets met at the 28 when he catches the football. So it'll be first down and 10 for the Hornets. 12:50 to go here in the first quarter. No score. It's San Diego Mesa 0. The Hornets getting their first opportunity offensively.
36 yards on the kick. Will Peroni, the center, may be the best center in the state. Sammy Garcia, the right guard. The right tackle will be Sebastian Medina. Daniel Modelis, the left guard, and George Silva, the left tackle up front, one of the best offensive lines in the state.
Nunez at quarterback. Tyrell Green out here, comes out in the flat, gets missed on the first tackle, gets knocked out of bounds at the 35. So the running back goes out in the flat, they flip it to him, and it'll be a first down. So we looked at what happened at the beginning of this game. San Diego Mesa moved the ball on 2 running plays and then turned around and squandered opportunities to get up the field, had to punt the ball away, and now you're caught up at 2nd down and 2. Nunez goes back, looks the middle of the field, throws it to sure hands. Koenig takes it himself. Oh, and it was not him. It was Jordan Smith. I saw the 2 and I saw the sure hand, so I went with Aiden. Thought he had it, but that was Jordan Smith who caught it.
And that's one of those things where Jordan Smith went down after the 3rd game of the season. Aiden Koenig stepped up and filled that role in the slot. Now they get Jordan Smith. That passing attack is more lethal than ever.
Gibson to the near side of the field. They hand it off to Tyrell Green Jr. Tries to get to the 45. He's going to be short. Gain of about 1. 2nd down and 9 with 11:45 to go here in the first half.
Eric Gant at the knees on the stop for the Olympians. We'll set that defensive unit in just one moment. Number 19 is a big guy out there. Ezra Christensen for the Olympians. 9 sacks and 13.5 tackles for loss this year.
Fletcher to the near side of the field. Koenig to the far side of the field. Tyrell Green Jr. goes straight up off the center's hip and gets down to the 41 for a gain of 7, probably behind the best offensive lineman on this Fullerton College team.
And that is Will Peroni, probably the best in the state. If he's not, well, he's top 2 or 3.
So it's going to bring a 3rd down and 4 at the 40 for the Hornets. They're moving left to right on your computer screen. Tyrell Green Jr. gets it again, gets hit, spits off of it, and goes down, stays on his feet, gets all the way down to the 31 as pinball. Tyrell Green Jr. pinballs his way down there and just is that type of football player. First down for the Hornets at the 31. This is a prolific running attack, probably the best in community college around the nation. Nunez goes back, goes across the middle of the field. C.J. Broy had it, couldn't pull it in. Darian Fletcher had it. C.J. Broy now comes the near side of the field. Gibson goes to the far side of the field. Koenig with him. 2nd down and 10. San Diego Mesa almost jumps. 2nd down and 10, just outside the 30 for the Hornets. Tyrell Green Jr. goes off a left tackle. There's nothing there for him.
No, and that's going to be Blaze Zito crashing in from his right end position, as well as Jaleel Jackson up front. Daniel McCoy in the secondary, along with Jonathan Vega, Michael Harkins, Ezra Christensen, we mentioned earlier. Eric Grant is another DB on the near side.
Broy and Smith, the near side of the field. Tyrell Green Jr. goes into motion. They throw it out in the flat. Gets a block on the far side of the field, and it's a first down for the Hornets. Nice block over there. Gibson was over there, and Koenig was over there. Looks like Koenig makes the block and frees up a running back going into the flat and catching passes.
Jaden Brown makes the stop. He's wearing number 21, and 93 up front rounds out that defensive unit, Christian Moda.
C.J. Broy, the wide receiver on this side. Gibson all by himself to the far side of the field. Smith in the middle. Nunez goes back. Goes to the deep side of the field. Up! Caught Touchdown, Hornets.
And how beautiful was that throw by Brandon Nunez? What he does is the safety reads it correctly, guys, and he jumps the route. The problem was the ball was floated and looked like it picked up extra air while in the air to get over the outstretched hands of Jonathan Vega.
And Jordan Smith goes up and gets it and extends and catches the ball with his hand, pulls it in so he controlled it going to the ground for a touchdown with 9:05 to go here in the first quarter. The kick is up, and the kick is good. With 9:05 to go, it's the Hornets 7, San Diego 0 here on SportsNetUSA.net.
And Mark, what Coach Garrett Campbell and his offensive unit did, there's the starter, Josh Calvin, a little banged up. So Brandon Nunez, who was hurt last year, comes in now and has got a couple games under his belt, feels more relaxed with the offense. But what he did in this first drive is he got a rhythm. Coach Campbell allowed him to get a rhythm with a quick couple dump outs to the right and left, couple quick ends on the inside, proceed, another 7-yard slant play like a deep post, and then this one, a post in the end zone after he's comfortable on completing his first 5 passes, and he gets 6.
Colton Westbrook is back deep now on the near side of the field for the return. And Brown was back there also. Ray, we hope you're listening to us, watching us. Our good friend Ray's over at St. Jude's. Get well soon, quickly. Corey misses you out here. He's buying donuts for everybody but you. So you need to get out here so you can have that donut. Owens and Sullivan to the near side of the field. Gunner at quarterback, first down and 10, right at the 25. Defense in quickly on a dive play. Gets nowhere right there.
Right to left up from Eric Hill, Ant Harris, Bryce Dunnick, and Amari Williams back. A lot of players get more time after their injuries. Chris Harm, the middle backer, Branson Tita Noir, and Jeremiah McNeely are the backers.
Josh Butler still in at running back, Gunner at quarterback. Second down and 13 after the loss on that play. Hornets come up. Gunner goes out looking to go to the flat. Nobody's there covering the receiver, and it's a foot race. It says Jackson's left all alone, Mr. Neyland. And with the speed of this young man, that was an easy first down.
Well, what Kearns and the backer McNeely did is they went up for the up receiver, and Gunnar Gray stood in the pocket and went to Sullivan, who was continuing down, and got that one-on-one with the safety.
Throw it over the flat, get the block. Defense as Jackson, as they were coming over in this direction, and Jackson tries to get a block by Owens. Owens does nothing on the block, and Jackson gets taken down for a loss.
And Max Ahoya took out the block and makes the tackle in one fell swoop. Deshaun Owens had no chance. Coming in for Ahoya's Christian Cross, the near safety or near corner, far corner is Cassius Kearns.
Jackson and Sullivan on the far side of the field. Come to the near side of the field. Nice little catch there to Owens. Owens crosses the 40, gets down to the 38. So a gain of 7 on the play.
And the safeties, 25 is Kadari Kearns, and number 4 is Jay Salen Streeter. Got his cast off, so he's working with 2 hands now.
Marlon Unda now, the tight end comes in. He's over here with Owens on the near side of the field. Jackson at the far side of the field. Big third down and 3. Gunnar looks, gets his running back coming out of the backfield. A nice little catch by Josh Butler who just sneaks out and gets enough for a first down.
And Coach Gary Watkins is doing the same thing. He's allowing Gunnar Gray, who's been out due to injury the last couple games. The offense is different, more confident with Gunnar Gray at the helm.
So Gray's got a first down and 10, right at the 35. First down and 10 at the 35. Gunnar Gray. Sides. Straight up the middle. Gets a nice little thing by Latanka.
Latanka did a nice job of following his blocks behind Justin Phillips, Ethan Nelson, Cameron Stoffel, Jose Sanchez, and Christopher Gonzalez, the 5 up front for the Olympians.
So Latanka in at running back. Owens to the near side of the field. Jackson the far side of the field. Second down and 6. Gray goes over here towards Owens. Overshoots him. Incomplete pass. So Deshaun Owens can't catch up with it. Brings down a third down and 6.
And those out routes, again, they're setting up and out and up. Fullerton cornerbacks are going to have to play it well. And that's why you're not seeing them jump those routes like you saw earlier in the season, because a sophomore quarterback like Gunnar Gray is going to read that and hit him deep.
Owens and Jackson the left. Walker in the slot at the right. Latanka at running back. Gray in at quarterback. Third down and a long 7 right at the 31. Jackson goes in motion. Here comes the pressure. Gunnar Gray's got no place to go and gets sacked on the play.
Hi, my name is Eric, not Blake, and I get my first sack of the game. Eric Hill with the sack for the Hornets.
Wait a minute, is he a new player on the team? I've never heard his name this season.
4.5 sacks for Eric. I am sorry about that. We got it right now, and that's what they've been doing all season long. It was a third and achievable, but Eric did a nice job of getting that sack and forcing a punt.
Martin Fontenot comes in to punt it away, the 4th. Left footer, hooks it. Aiden Koenig calls for a fair catch and gets it right there at the 8. Ray, we're glad you're doing well, my friend. Like I said, Corey Neyland's got that 24 box of donuts here. So anytime you show up and you're ready for him, you know you're always more than welcome to visit with us here on SportsNetUSA.net.
And Ryan Osborn, you can't hear him, but he just said that's the second play today. They've only had 10 players on the field.
Smith, the lone wide receiver. Tyrell Green Jr. tries to make the corner, gets drug out of bounds.
Michael Harkins does the drugging.
So Koenig comes back in. Smith stays to this side of the field. Koenig goes to the far side of the field. Now Gibson comes in. So Gibson's now on the near side of the field. Smith goes to the far side of the field with Koenig. Second down and 11 for the Hornets. Once again, trying to get it out in the flat.
They were looking for Malik out there, and that's a dangerous pass because if it goes laterally, you know the ball is live, and that could be disastrous. So the Olympians playing field position here. They got Fullerton in a 3rd and 11 where they want them. And let's see if it's just a straight handoff up the middle.
Malik Winston at running back. So Gibson stays the near side of the field. Koenig now shifts from left to right. Malik Winston at running back. 3rd down and 11. Nunez goes back. Middle of the field, throws it to Koenig, sure hands, goes across the 20, first down.
You know when a coach is feeling good about the person they have throwing the rock? when it's 3rd and 11 at the 4-yard line, and it said, no, we're not going to do what we normally do and run it up the middle. We're going to throw a deep square in to get the first down to our sure-handed receiver, Aiden Koenig.
First down and 10, right at the 21. They come out quickly. San Diego jumps. There's a flag, and they were going to give the Hornets a free play, and nobody decided to move. So it's like, that free sandwich, you stick it on a plate, and then nobody grabs it, so you yank it. And now he's picking it up and waving it off because, that was that $2 coming out of his pocket for that free chicken sandwich.
Because the official jumped also. He threw the flag. Oh, wait, nobody's moving. Let me pick that up.
First down and 10, right at the 21 with 3:26 to go, and the Hornets up by 7 here in the first quarter. Nunez was going to run an option play, looks at Malik Winston, doesn't pitch it out to him, Corey, and keeps it himself.
You like the play calling, though. We were worried that the playbook was going to be shrink a little bit in this game, but it's expanding with Brandon Nunez because they run that option play. Good job of keeping it, picking up 3 yards.
So second down and 7, right short of the 25. Nunez rolls out in this direction. He was going to throw it to Koenig. Koenig says, I thought you were running, and turns around and throws a block. Nice play by Aiden because, Corey, most receivers give up on that. He throws an initial block to give his quarterback an extra yard. That moves the chains, gets it all the way out to the 33-yard line. First down and 10, 2:46 to go. Gibson goes to the far side of the field. He's over there by himself. First down and 10. Pump fake, middle of the field. Goes there. Aiden gets it. And Aiden says, help me. Mr. Smith, help me. Jordan, throw a block. Do something. Don't shake my hand.
33 yards, and you realize the play you just called about the receiver turning around and throwing a block, Jordan Smith needed to turn around, throw that block, and it would have been a touchdown. But instead, 33 yards and a first down.
Nunez keeps it himself. That time he gets back to the line of scrimmage. So it'll be a second down and 10. We're at the 2-minute mark in the first quarter. It's the Hornets 7. San Diego Mesa 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
Stuffed by Mota and Jackson.
Kristen Stewart now to the near side of the field. Malik Winston straight up off the left tackle. Gets a gain of about 6. And we asked about Malik getting more opportunities to run the football. We heard, hey, there's plays there, and he showed us last week and the week before. So there might be a little more sharing at running back for this Hornet team. A gain of 7. This will be third down. Malik takes it again, straight up the middle, off of center. See if he's got it. Far side of the field says he's got a first down, and he does. And, Corey, go back to the center because you said the best center. They seem to run so many off the center's hip in this straight dive play.
Yeah, when you got a nasty guy out there in the middle of everything, it helps to clear the way. Sammy Garcia and Daniel Modelis, the left guard, he is definitely an all-conference player. They really open up holes.
First down and 10. Nunez goes back, looks to go deep. Fought down there, incomplete pass as he tried to go to Cameron Woods, and Cameron Woods had good coverage against him.
Yeah, that was Eric Gant on the outside. Good throw, better coverage. Both players had their arms locked as they were going down the right sideline. Would have been a tremendous one-handed catch, but it's second down and 10. And I believe that's the first or second incomplete pass thrown by Nunez.
Second down and 10 at the 24. C.J. Broy and Smith and Koenig to the far side of the field. Gibson to the near side of the field. Second down and 10 with 33 seconds to go here in the first quarter. The Hornets up by 7. Handed straight down the middle. Tyrell Green gets tripped up just short of the goal line.
Eric Gant made the tackle, tripped him up for scoring a touchdown, but what happened was it was designed, the eyes of Tyrell Green Jr. He read it as soon as he handled it. Off tackle, but he saw that hole open up to the left side and burst through it for a first down.
So the Hornets are probably going to let the clock run out as it clicks down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as we get ready to head to the second quarter, it's Fullerton 7, San Diego Mesa 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, and the old guy. Happy to bring you the game back. And, of course, now we actually have pictures with sound, talkies. They are the new big thing here in media on Sportsnet, USA.net. That's okay, Ryan Osborn. You could give me that look. Our crack technician here on Sportsnet, USA.net. So we get ready for the second quarter, and don't forget about Fullerton College student athletes are all in, united in serving our campus and local communities by supporting causes that make a difference. Join us and be all in. The Fullerton Food Drive, Chris Lamb, and Tony Du Bois Walker Memorial Food Bank. Come on into any of the games. You give donations when you walk in. Canned goods, things that are non-perishable. Hand them off. This food bank will get built up, and those who don't have will always have that food on their plate and have a meal every day like all of us seem to do in normal society. Let's start the second quarter. It's first and goal. The run and option play. Tyrell Green Jr. takes it. Runs over everybody. Touchdown. Tyrell Green Jr., the beast from the East, shows you how he can take out anybody. And Corey Naylor, you got a big grin in his face. You love watching this kid run.
Well, he just, and here's a new word for the dictionary, he just outfasted everybody to the outside. I mean, the play was going to be broken up and stalled. Ezra Christensen was there, and the backer was there as well. What the beast from the East did is he accelerated at about the 6-yard line and gets into the end zone to make it 13-0.
Kick is up, and the kick is good. With 14:53 at the start here of the second quarter, it's the Hornets 14, San Diego Mesa 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
7th touchdown rushing of the season for Tyrell. Averages 106 yards per game, 746 yards coming into this game.
And when you think about how they talked about the offensive line, well, the offensive line has just been special for this team this year.
And that's going to be Cam Brown, and also Colton Westbrook. Brown on the near side. Actually, that's going to be Anthony Gilpin on the far side, Mark.
Gilpin picks it up. Takes it up to the 25.
So new defensive guys in there. C.J. Nesmith on the near side at the end. Tyler Carter, Terrence Hansbrough Jr., and LeBaron Kennedy Jr. are the front four. Keon Marshall in the middle. Marcellus Gaines on the near side. Branson Tita Noir on the far side backer. He's the strong side.
Latonka in at running back. Gunnar Gray at quarterback. First down and 10 at the 25. Gray goes back. Gives it off to Latonka. Latonka catches it going out in the flat. Gets across the 30. Nice gain of 5 on the play.
Yeah, Tita Noir and Marshall there on the stop. The safeties are still Streeter and Kearns. The other Kearns, far side corner. Ahoya, the near side corner.
Owens to the near side. Jackson goes in the slot to the far side. They throw over here to Owens. Almost picked.
Max Ahoya, his second big play of the first half.
It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 6 for San Diego.
That kid out of La Mirada High School. La Mirada produces a lot of talent from their football program.
Owens stays here to the near side. Jackson goes to the far side. Latonka still at running back. 3rd down and 6. The Hornets look like they're coming with a blitz. Back off. Phil Austin yelling out instructions for his D-backs. And we get a timeout on the field. With 14:18 to go, it's the Hornets 14, San Diego Mesa 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
What you saw is the Olympians going to call that timeout. However, Hornets are happy they called that timeout because that's another play where they're setting up that out and up where Ahoya could jump that route, and then they hold it to go deep because the safeties were going to come over the middle. Fullerton looked like they were going to come on the blitz. It would have been one-on-one on the outside.
Don't forget, stick around with us at halftime. We'll have some of the updates on all the games going on in the CCCAA. See if there's any upsets, if things are going to move in the rankings, what's going on in your own conferences. Owens to the near side of the field. Jackson to the far side of the field. Gunnar Gray. We get motion against San Diego, so that's going to move him back 5 yards.
Justin Phillips.
So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and let's just call it 10. Latonka still in at running back. Gray at quarterback. Jackson on the far side of the field. Owens on the near side of the field. Hornets come up. They look like they want to come. They back out. Sneak up again. Gunnar Gray gets ready. Pump fakes. Goes over here. Owens trying to find the ball and yet covered one-on-one defensively and had no opportunity.
And that's that pump, and they tried to go up for the first down. Wasn't going. Got away a little bit with some hand checking there, a little pirouette on the tango, but good job of defensive holding.
Aiden Koenig back deep on a punt return, stands at the 40. 14-12, just the start of the second quarter. The Hornets, 14-0. Comes it up. Koenig has that one go over his head. He's going to let it hit and just bounce. Gets out of the way. Nice play by him. Corey, you could go for that over-the-shoulder catch, but there's no reason to. And it's going to die all the way back at the 8-yard line.
About a 66-yard kick, 65-yard kick there. Trying to switch field position.
So the Hornets with 13:56 and up by 14. Well, it's a comfortable beginning against Mesa. We'll see if they can extend it here in this second quarter on Sportsnet, USA.net.
Mark Sherrod Green is in the ball game now for the Hornets on the right side. He is the right tackle.
Darren Fletcher to the near side of the field. Tyrell Green Jr., the running back. 1st down and 10. They hand it off to Tyrell Green. He goes right off of guard. Sort of slimes his way back up towards the center position. Gets a gain of about a yard, maybe 2 on the play. C.J. Roy comes in the game. Along with Jordan Smith, they go to the far side of the field. Gibson to the near side of the field. 2nd down and 8 for the Hornets. Nunez, middle of the field. Aiden Koenig gets it, refuses to go down, gets across the 20, and that's enough to move the chains.
Yeah, he makes a catch in front of Owen Usini right there at the 1st down marker. He realizes he has the 1st down and lunging forward to keep it. but he always seems to be open underneath.
Gibson flip-flops. He goes to the other side of the field. Broy, Smith, Koenig to the near side of the field. First down and 10 at the 21. They look over at the sideline. Get the signals from Garrett Campbell, head coach, offensive coordinator for the Hornets. They look, throw it out in the flat. We're going to get a flag on the play, and that one's coming back as it went nowhere on the play as Tyrell Green Jr. got taken down for a loss. Holding against the Hornets with 12:32 to go here in the second quarter, and the Hornets are up 14-0 against San Diego Mesa.
But you can really see the Hornets utilizing those flat patterns to try to get their backs on the outside one-on-one against the defenders. Okay, Mark, so instead of 1st and 20, it's going to be 2nd and 10 as the Olympians decline the penalty. So it should be a loss of 1, shouldn't it, or 2?
Should be a lot. I thought it would be a loss of 2. I thought he got tackled short of the 20.
Okay. So, yeah, it should be at the 20. So, yeah, it'd be a loss of 2, so
Yeah.
2nd and 12.
There it is. So the officials respot the ball in the proper spot. Malik Winston now in at running back for the Hornets. Ryan Franklin now comes in. Smith to the near side of the field. Franklin goes to the far side of the field as a wide receiver. Malik Winston, the running back. 2nd down and 12, right at the 20-yard line. Give it to Malik. Looked like he was going to the outside and then bounced back into the middle and gets stopped by a good defensive play by Mesa.
Yeah, he was going to go to the outside, but Jaleel Jackson was there, and he's 6'3", 270. He swallowed up the outside and just nowhere to go.
So it's going to be a 3rd and about 11 for the Hornets.
And here's where they looked for Franklin and Koenig in the middle of the field with that good rapport with Nunez. Cameron Woods is in the ball game at tight end with 1 safety high.
So they go straight up the middle. And, of course, this time they handed off to Garnett Davis III that was in the game when they went with a 2-back set. And so that's going to bring up a 4th down for the Hornets. And the Mesa fans now have something to cheer about across the way. Nice turnout by San Diego Mesa.
Yeah.
It's not an easy drive on a Saturday evening.
Not so much.
So Mesa makes a big stop with 10:40 to go here in the second quarter. Down by 14. Don't want to let the lead get out of hand. We're going to get a little motion.
LeBaron Kennedy Jr. And it looks like Cam Brown is deep for the Olympians.
So fair catch signaled for, and it was taken right there by Cam Brown on a fair catch at the 48. So with 10:24 to go here in the first half, it's the Hornets 14, Mesa 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Gunnar Gray comes back out. Daniel Latonka comes out at running back. Near side of the field is Owens. Jackson in the slot next to him. First down and 10. Gray has good field position with 10:24 to go here in the second quarter. Jackson goes in motion from right to left. Latonka straight up the middle, gets across the 50. They're going to mark him right at the 50-yard line, gain of 3 on the play.
And there's Eric Hill also on the stop, or was Robert De La Torre was near the ball. This is a much different game than last year when we were down in San Diego and when they took it to the Hornets.
So Owens and Jackson here at the near side of the field. Tonka's still in at running back. Now Tonka shifts from right to left for Mesa. Gray fakes it, going down deep on the far side. And what happens when you lose Sullivan? And you're going to say there's flags, and he was driven out of bounds, so those flags should be against the Hornets.
Yeah, they will be, and tack on another 15 yards that play. Sullivan got away with a push-off, just a little slight push-off for that first down, but otherwise it was good coverage by Cassius Kearns. Better throw on that back.
You look at Sullivan, he averages almost 41 yards a game. He's got 245. That now makes his 20th reception of this year, and they move it down, tacking on those flags. An enormous gain all the way down to the 15. First down and 10 with 9:30 to go here in the first half. Well, Mesa is knocking at the door. It's Gilpin. I was trying to figure out what Gilpin was doing. He was looking over there trying to get a sign. He's to the near side of the field towards us. He's out wide. We'll see if Gunnar Gray looks in his direction. Gray does. Looks to Gilpin. One hand, grab of the jersey. Nice defense against Gilpin.
Yeah, Maximus Ahoya. Again, on the stop, he plays the ball. The ball reaches the hands, and that's where he slaps it away from Gilpin. And Harris now in for De La Torre. So look for Harris and Dunnick to try to create some havoc up the middle on this play. Chris Harm is back at the middle linebacker spot for the Hornets.
So Gilpin and Jackson come to the near side of the field. Josh Butler back in at running back for Mesa. Gray hands it to Butler. Butler gets grabbed. He had a hole, and it looked like he was going to take off running. Then somebody reached out of nowhere and grabbed his jersey and stopped him in his tracks.
It looked like it was Chris Harm who had the jersey, because it was a touchdown if he gets out of that tackle. Great call play with the misdirection as everyone is following Sullivan on the motion, and they handed off a misdirection to to Butler.
So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 7. Gilpin stays here on this side of the field. Sullivan on the far side of the field with Jackson. Butler still at running back. We get a flag, and I think, let's see if we get a timeout. I think that's what it should be. So we're going to get a timeout on the field. San Diego Mesa with 8:20 to go here in the first half. Well, it's Fullerton 14, Mesa 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
So we talked about scores on the scoreboard. Riverside 45-10 winners over El Camino today. Up north, San Mateo wins, as well as Feather River. Santa Monica beat L.A. Pierce 27-9. Citrus stays undefeated in the American League with a 40-14 win over West L.A. College of the Sequoias beat Sacramento City College. Glendale 35-6 winners over L.A. Southwest. L.A. Southwest winless thus far on the season. The game you were talking about earlier with Ryan, Sierra loses their second loss of the season to Butte 46-20. Butte needed that win to stay alive for some playoff consideration. Mount San Jacinto and Casey Mazzotta 63-14 winners over College of the Desert.
So 3rd down and a long 8. Gray starts in motion. We get a flag, so It should be against San Diego, and we'll see if they had two people moving at the same time, and that's what it was. So you have one that goes in motion, and then one takes a step forward. Well, that's illegal procedure, and that moves them back 5 more yards.
And Mark, the Kearns family is here. So Kadari and Casillas' contingent from Flossmoor, Illinois, Homewood High School.
So Junior Atakunde is now in the game as a running back. Gunnar Gray looks over. Now it's 3rd down and 12. They're going the wrong direction. Sullivan out wide. Jackson in the slot to the near side of the field. And they run it straight up the middle.
And you got to believe, Mark, that was a 4-down territory play where they're going to try to pick up 7, 8 yards and go for it on 4th down. But here, when the ball is at the 20, they'll set up at the 27. So they're going to go for it on 3rd and 16. Or excuse me, 4th and 16.
So Junior stays in at running back. Now he shifts from left to right. Got nothing the last time he touched the ball. Once again, they put Jackson in motion. Jackson comes to the side of the field. Here comes the pressure, looking for the middle. No one there. And it looked like he was trying to go to Anthony Gilpin, who should have gone in, Corey, or do you think Gilpin ran the right route? Because it looked like he was looking for Gilpin to cut in at the end zone.
Yeah, and Christian Cross was looking for in as well, and he was the nearest person there. Good, very good defensive stand for the Hornets because they had it at the 15-yard line after a big penalty and just continued to back up the Olympians.
And that's one thing. We haven't said enough about Brian Crooks' defense and how well they have played when you look at this winning streak they've done.
I want to thank
Garnett, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Mark.
Garnett Davis III now is in at running back.
He's got quick feet and good burstability if he gets a lane.
With Malik, 1st down and 10. And we're going to get timeout. So Garrett didn't like what he saw and is going to call a quick timeout. 7:31 here in the second quarter. It's the Hornets 14, Mesa 0 on SportsNetUSA.net.
And we also want to thank all of our listeners, our watchers here on SportsNetUSA.net for joining us for an evening of football here from Fullerton.
So the Hornets up by 14 with 7:31 to go in this first half. Call a timeout. I think this is where they're looking to make that strike to extend their lead. They'd love to go in at halftime, up by 3 touchdowns here on SportsNetUSA.net. Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborn. Happy to have going on. So Malik Winston comes back out at running back, so they change things up. First down and 10. Nunez pulls it down, felt the pressure, takes off running. Continues down the field, collision at the 50, and that strong young quarterback, as there's a flag on the play, and we'll see what it is. Holding. That is coming back after a beautiful run. And you know what I like? The yard markers immediately before a signal for a first down, they took off running down the field as fast as the quarterback from Fullerton. Now they're going to have to reset everything up at the 20 and then move it back 10 more yards.
That's a tough hold right there for the Hornets. That's a 30-yard gain. And now you back it up and you lose 10. So minus 40 on that play. But you like the mobility marker, Brandon Nunez, and he's not a small kid out there, 6'5", 225 from Mesa.
Yeah, and he has good instincts since he's come in at quarterback. He really has. I mean, the first time that he came in, you know, you sort of looked and went, But now that you get those multiple reps and get to know everybody that's with you on the field as they want the play clock pushed back up. So it's going to be first down and 20 from the 10. Throw it over to Coney. He's dropped for a 5-yard loss, so smothering defense by Mesa.
And that was Travis Hall Jr. with the stop. And you mentioned it, and you and Ryan both have been able to talk to the coaching staff, and that you both mentioned that Brandon Nunez was the guy who had a good grasp on the offense of what Garrett Campbell wants to do.
Jeremy Gonzalez now comes in the game. As a wide receiver. So multiple wide receivers for these Hornets. Straight dive play. Cross the 10, it's going to give you manageable third down. It's gets you out of the end zone. So that was Malik Winston.
And Owen Usini with the stop. And we saw confidence in the first quarter, guys, when they were at the 4-yard line and they went over the middle to Koenig to pick up a crucial first down. Third and about 18.
With 5:28 to go here in the second quarter. Big third down. If San Diego Mesa can make a stop, here they come. San Diego Mesa putting pressure on, and the ball is thrown out outside of the pocket, throws it to no one, therefore it won't be a flag against the quarterback, but it is a big fourth down coming up now for San Diego Mesa.
And their big guy, Ezra Christensen, the DE, 6'2", 270. He's out of Poway High School, applied the pressure, and that's the first time we really called his name in the backfield tonight.
Statistically, he looks like a monster statistically
with
the numbers he's got.
Oh, no, he is. He's a real good player. I mean, he impacts games. The ones we've seen this season, he's impacted all of them.
You know, and you wondered, you even brought it up, you wondered if the offensive line could handle him. Big kick. Signaled for a fair catch. It's going to hit the ground. And getting out of the way there was Cam Brown, who was trying to come up for it, Corey, but there was traffic in front of it and chose to let it hit the ground and roll.
46 yards on the kick.
Gets down right at the 44-yard line. So with 5:05 to go, well, Mesa's looking for something, a scrape, a scrap, a thought of goodwill. They haven't found it so far in this game, but they're going to keep searching. Josh Butler back in at running back. Owens comes to the near side of the field. Jackson goes to the far side of the field with Sullivan. First down and 10. Butler goes off a right tackle. Doesn't get back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be a loss of a half a foot on the play.
Tyler Carter and Jeremiah McNeely.
No huddle offense. San Diego Mesa is going to change the rhythm here with a second down and about 10 and a foot. Gunnar Gray goes up their flag. Illegal start. Once again by San Diego Mesa. 4:39 to go.
Right side of that offensive line, Mark, and it's a good job of both teams have slowed it down a little bit here in this second quarter.
Sullivan to the far side of the field. Jackson next to him. Owens on the near side of the field. Butler the running back. Gray the quarterback. Second down, let's call it 15. Gray goes back. Looks, pump fakes. Throws it over here. Tries to get it out to the original line of scrimmage. And I tell you what, if you threw it up like that, you're going to say, thank you, no thank you.
Cassius Kearns, heat-seeking missile on that tackle.
Sullivan said, thank you for hanging me out.
Kearns' family here down on the right side like that play as well.
Third down and 10. Gray changing things at the line of scrimmage. Fullerton backs off. Now they walk up a couple linebackers. Here they come. Across the middle of the field. And catch at the sticks for a first down.
And that's going to be Brody Schicker. Mark, that was an excellent throw and excellent concentration by Schicker in between two players, and he knew he was going to get hit.
So Schicker comes up right at the sticks. They move the chains. First down and 10. Right at the 44. Once again, across the middle of the field. This time they go to, and I think that was Sullivan, or is it Jackson that's out there?
That's going to be Jackson, Mark, and he found the soft spot. That's the first time there has been a soft spot in that zone.
Sullivan and Jackson to the far side of the field. Brody Schicker in the slot to the near side of the field. Owens next to him. First down and 10. Hands a straight off dive to, and the running back that's been doing the most has been Josh Butler for the San Diego Mesa team. 2:46 to go. They're knocking on the door, but nobody's let him in because it's not Halloween yet, so why give him anything? Second down and a long 7 at the 24-yard line. Hornets come up at the corner. Get a flag. It's a free play going down in. Incomplete pass, but it's coming back because that was a free one. The Hornets jumped offside.
Yeah, that was Kennedy Jr. on the near side who jumped. So with a third down and less than 4, third and 3, really the Hornets are trying to be bamboo right now, guys, and trying to stop them as Hansbrough checks out for Bryce Dunnick.
They picked up the flag.
That's the second offside penalty that they picked up on both squads.
So it's now third down and 6 because the flag was picked up. Gilpin comes to the near side of the field. Jackson with him. Schnicker. Now Jackson goes in motion from right to left. Butler goes out in the flat. They get it to Butler. Butler gets stood up. Is he going to get it? It looks like, unless he fell forward over Corey
he didn't
by
fall.
the sticks, he was stopped at first, right?
Yeah, he didn't get it. I think he's just going to be inches short. And they say he's a full yard short.
So it's a fourth down and a yard, and they're going to go for it. Gilpin comes out to this side, wide to this side. Butler stays in the backfield. Sullivan in the slot on the near side of the field. Sullivan steps up. They give it to Butler. Butler off tackle gets the first down.
So a big play. He needed 1. He got 2. And they moved the chains with 129.
Conta now in the game at running back. Gunnar Gray into the backfield, lost in everybody, and how can you lose Anthony Gilpin, who was there by himself saying, excuse me, I don't want anybody at my dinner table. I like to eat alone.
That's the play they've been setting up the whole first half. The out. Now we're going to send them up, and Anthony Gilpin went up. Ahoya and Kadari Kearns both take the receiver at the goal line. And Gilpin is left alone in the middle of the end zone, wide open.
Boy, I tell you what, that looked like you, me, and Ryan at a buffet, and everybody watched us eat, and nobody sitting next to us. He was that open. Ball is spotted, the kick is up, and the kick is good. With 59 seconds to go. Well, guys, all of a sudden, when it looked like it wasn't going to be a game, let's reset the scene. The Hornets get out quickly. They score 14 points. They had opportunities. It looked like they may get a 21-point lead, but they don't. Mesa gets close, gets turned away. They look like they can't get in the end zone. And then on a, how do you do? I'm by myself. Throw me the ball. I'm by the Chevrolet. You get 7 points. And now this game's anybody's heading into the second half as we've got 59 seconds left here in the first half. It's now Fullerton 14, San Diego Mesa 7 on Sportsnet, USA.net.
Michael Love and Jordan Smith back deep. Love on the far side, Smith on the near side. And we mentioned that earlier when we were walking over here, guys. He said Fullerton doesn't really have a return guy, but Michael Love is in the top 4 of returns in the SCFA. So he is very dangerous. I believe his long run is 76 yards on a return. If he gets one here in one block, he can change the game dramatically.
So we'll see if Donovan Warren can put some foot into it. Warren, big kick, drives it all the way back into the end zone, and the Hornets will take a knee. Warren with a big leg for Mesa. Gets exactly what Mesa wants with 59 seconds to go. So it'll be first down and 10 for the Hornets. And, of course, now here's the question. Are they going to be satisfied with being up by 7? Or are they going to see if they can pull out that miracle 7-point play to go up by 14? Ryan Osborn shaking his head over there. He hasn't said much tonight.
History says they'll run it, and if they get a good game, maybe they'll pass on the second. If they don't get a good game, they'll be happy going in with a 7-point lead and get the ball after half.
So we'll see if Corey Neyland's right. First down and 10. Run the option play. Take it here to Malik Winston. Malik gets across the 30. Gain a 5 on the play. It'll bring a second down.
And since they're working with 2 timeouts, that's a positive gain. They pick up a first down here, anything goes.
So second down and 5, right at the 30. Faking to Malik, going down, throwing back shoulder, and taken there by Gibson on a back shoulder pass.
That he caught one-handed with that right hand.
And they get it all the way up to the 46-yard line. Nice throw, better catch by the Hornets. 51 seconds, so 8 seconds have gone off the clock. Nunez goes back. He's going to roll out. Nobody's going to pick him up. Flings it while he's still there, out of bounds at the 28. Nice lateral movement for a first down.
And what can a mobile quarterback do for you? And especially that first play of this drive where they picked up 5 yards, really established what they wanted to do. We can move the ball.
First down and 10 at the 30. Goes back, pump fakes, throws it out in the flat. Far side of the field, knocked out of bounds at the 23-yard line.
And that was a design play because they had Jordan Smith running on a fly route. He had 2 steps. But again, they pick up 6.
So going to the far side of the field will be Gibson. C.J. Broy to the near side of the field. Koenig comes in near side of the field also. Nunez goes back, goes deep in the corner, tries to get it to Koenig, and there's a flag on the play. I guess that's because he was just running right next to him and said, hey, you don't have your blinker on, and the official throws a flag at the 5. Corey Neyland's astonished. It's taking his words away. Ryan Osborn is hiding in the dark. He doesn't want anybody picking him. Go ahead, Ryan.
No, I agree with Corey because it looked like both guys were just running down the sideline. It looked like one guy's foot hit the other, hits the deck, and then it ends up drawing a call. So I'm not sure about that.
I am. Pick up the flag.
So we're going to get, see if they've called a timeout for the Hornets as Garrett walks on the field and asks a few things. So they're going to mark it down
And
at the 9-yard line.
Fullerton guys is bucking recent history where they would have been satisfied going in at halftime, but again, the mentality of this coaching staff, you like the aggressiveness.
Koenig, Smith, Broy over here. Nunez, far side of the field to Gibson. Goes up with the one hand again and can't pull it down. That time there was a penalty.
That was a hold. The one before that was not PI, but that was a hold. But good battle between Gibson out there against the corner, Bradley Fine.
Ryan, do you see a hold too with Corey?
Yeah, I agree with you guys, especially looking at through the camera lens. It just seemed like he had that extra jersey pull, tried to tug him down right as that ball goes up.
With the timeout, you got a chance to run it.
2nd and goal from the 9. Here comes the blitz. Corey Neyland, they listen to you. Drop in, down at the 1. Call timeout, and they call timeout. It's down at the 1. So you thought for a second maybe the clock would run out.
What's the spot?
They're down at the 2.
Yeah, so down at the 2.
And here's the thing. Can you say bootleg? Can you say roll
2-yard
out?
line. So 17 seconds to go, and guys, really it was interesting because we wondered if the Hornets were just going to take that knee and be satisfied. And they have gone down the field. They opened up the Ryan Osborn book of cards.
Well, to be fair, Mark, one of us wondered whether or not they would be satisfied. There were two of us who were convinced that, like Corey said, you get that first initial good gain, and it allows you to get that momentum. It convinces you to keep going and try and get yourself some more points going into the half.
So the Hornets still have 2 timeouts. 2nd and goal from the 2. Quarterback keeper, and just stopped right there in the middle and timeout called.
Matt Nuanez stuffs Brandon Nunez right at the 3, knocks him back to the 5.
So Garrett calls timeout with 4 seconds. He lets time run off the clock. And decided he will go for a field goal, or, yeah, it is.
They are going to bring out the field goal team.
So Matt Nuanez.
So they'll spot the ball at the 10. You add 10. It will be a 20-yard attempt. Bear, high snap. Kick is up. And the kick is good. So it's the Hornets 17, San Diego 7. Here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
Gotta like the drive. You get points at the end of the half with 2 seconds remaining, and you get the ball to start off the second half. Good call selection, but outstanding defensive play. That's actually not Matt Nuanez. That's going to be Jonah Luong Wah. And he makes a great play to make him kick the field goal.
So it's the Hornets 17, Mesa 7 here on SportsNetUSA.net. One of these two teams, depending on how this game ends, will be undefeated in conference play. The other one will be 2-1, and they'll have to find some luck along the way to have an opportunity to win the conference or to go anyplace. We don't know what the bowl system will be, who they'll take, who they won't take.
It's funny how that works every year. We have no idea what happens.
Random selection. Little pooch kick in the middle of the field. Signal for a fair catch right at the 22. So we'll see if Mesa just hauls off and flings it or just takes a knee and is satisfied to be down by 10 in the half here on sportsnetusa.net. Mesa comes out. Brian Crooks is deciding, hey, let's drop 4 deep, and it looks like Mesa is going to take the knee. So they'll set it. And the knee is taken. So that's going to bring us to the end of the first half. As we come to the end of the first half, it's Fullerton 17, San Diego Mesa 7. Here on Sportsnet USA.net. Earlier today on Sportsnet USA.net, we had the pleasure of watching probably the best community college water polo team in the nation take on Pomona Pitzer and other teams. And, of course, the voice of that team that's #1 in the nation, in my personal opinion, is sitting right next to me here on SportsNetUSA.net. Ryan Osborn. Ryan, it was a team that you just look at when you look at that water polo team. Talent from top to bottom, and you've looked at it. 24-2 coming into today. I tell you what, Gabe Martinez, who's had 2 national champions, may have #3 sitting in his back seat.
You know, it's interesting that you mentioned that, Mark, because we've already talked about the fact that this is a Fullerton College team that looks like one of the best teams that we've seen in recent memory. We've made a lot about that 2014 championship and also that 2019 championship, and rightfully so. Both of those two teams were very simply dominant. But when you take a look at this team and the mindset that this team has, it's interesting to see just how good this program is, because you take a look at what you were talking about. 2 losses entering today, 25-2. However, they play a team that plays in the NCAA. Pomona Pitzer is not just a knockover in the NCAA either. They have multiple conference championships. In fact, they have 6 conference championships in their last 8 years. Their head coach is one of the best coaches in the NCAA because he has won the Coach of the Year honor in his conference 5 times in the last 10 years and has coached for USA water polo in recent Olympic trials and also at the Olympic Games as well. And Coach Martinez says, you know what, that's the type of team that we need to go out and play, not only to make themselves better, but you also have to look at it because Fullerton College doesn't say that's an exhibition. They play those teams like a Pomona Pitzer. They play those teams like a Cal Lutheran, and they say, you know what? Those count on our record. They don't just say that was just an exhibition between 2 teams. If they lose, they still put it up on their record as counting for them. On the other side, for Pomona Pitzer, for them, it's more of an off-season type of battle. They're getting a chance to gauge what their team looks like, what their roster looks like. But at the community college level, it's almost unheard of for a coach like Coach Gabriel Martinez to say, even if we lose to a better team, we put it on our official record.
Well, and here's the thing, Ryan, which I like what you brought up. We see our community college women taking on Cal Baptist University. Cal Baptist is no slouch. Okay, let's go there. Pomona Pitzer was there today, too. So, first of all, it was like a D1 exhibition if you look at it. And you're putting that community college in that D1 category right there. So student athletes, quality athletes, Fullerton College, water polo program that doesn't get talked about a lot unless you're listening to us at halftime or watching those games on 90.1 KBPK with Ryan Osborn should be noted as a great community college athletic organization and team. And that's why we talk about them as much as we do.
And here's what's really interesting about the fact that they put that Pomona-Pitzer game on their official record. They play Pomona-Pitzer and Cal Lutheran back-to-back. That was today at 9 a.m. and at 2 p.m. as the final matchups before they go into the Orange Empire Conference Championships. Now, very simply, this team in Fullerton College, even if they didn't win the conference crown, they would be into the state championships because of how good they were. But that means that they play a Division II, Division III team based on which school you're looking at as their tune-up. So they don't play a team that hasn't won in the last 5 weeks. They don't play a team that's got 2 wins on their schedule as their final, hey, let's get everything together, let's get a tune-up in before the championships. They play teams that are nationally ranked in their division as the final tune-up before you go to Orange Empire Conference play, which ends up starting off in 1 week. That's next Saturday at Riverside City College. So for this Fullerton College program, not only do they have a different mindset, not only do they consistently prove that they are one of the most dominant teams in not only the state of California, but also the nation, but you take a look at this Fullerton College program and you say, this is a team that isn't afraid to look at themselves and say, this is what we are lacking, and use that right before they go into the playoff.
Yeah, and that's one of the things to look at. And again, this is a team that has brought national championships to Fullerton College. So when Fullerton College talks about national championships and they say, oh, we have X amount, rarely do you ever hear it, well, we've got 5 on the men's side and 4 on the women's side for 9 as a total. They say, no, we have 9 national championships. So when you hear Ryan Osborn, the voice of water polo for Fullerton College, talk about this team, every alumnus at Fullerton College should be proud to know that not only do we have national championship teams on the men's side, but we have current national championship teams on the women's side. I got to ask you before I let you leave water polo, though, I'm going to look at maybe Adriana Wong and our goalie as the 2 best players on the team. I would look at our goalie and say, player of the year in the OEC. I don't know if you have a different view of that or not right now, as we've seen them play other teams on the water polo level.
No, I'd have to agree with you, especially with the showing that we saw today. Alex Aratam looked fantastic in that matchup against Pomona-Pitzer. And very simply, she kept Fullerton College in that game. You take a look at Alex Aratam after the game ended up being over. She had an official 10 saves. We had her recorded unofficially at 14, but she continually was able to face shot after shot after shot and was able to shut things down for Pomona-Pitzer. If it wasn't for her, that is a runaway game for the Sage Hens. Instead, Alex Aratam stood tall for Fullerton College and was able to keep them in it within a goal, within 2 goals throughout the majority of that matchup. So I would also agree with you. Player of the year in the Orange Empire Conference, the Orange Empire Conference would end up being Alex Aratam. However, if I do have to give a sort of X-Factor type player to this Fullerton team, it's going to be Nikki Salerno. You know, usually you look at someone who's leading a team in goals and you don't say, well, that's not an X-Factor player. Isn't that the star? Well, there's so much balance on this team. Adriana Wong, like you were talking about, second on the team in goals, second on the team in assists, leading the team in steals. She's a star. Nikki Salerno is also a star. Alex Aratam is also a star. And you look at this team and you say, okay, you've got these 3 to 4 people who you know are fantastic, but yet it's the goal scoring of Nikki Salerno that is consistently extremely clutch for Fullerton College. Whenever they need a goal early on, they go right to her. We saw that in the earlier game today.
Yeah, so water polo is where it is right now. The other thing that we did on the Coaches Show, Ryan Osborn, who is the host for the Coaches Show, well, we took a little ride out to a golf course and decided we were going to see the first round for the OEC Championships, and I was very fortunate to have Catherine Lee on the Coaches Show with me. That's right. Once again, we stay with the women who are playing golf for Fullerton College. This has been a season for the Fullerton College team, Ryan Osborn, that 1 through 5 for the women are quality golfers. The team will qualify as a team for the state championships, and yet you look at what Catherine Lee has done. Once again, it looks like she came away with the OEC championship on putting together back-to-back rounds.
Yeah, and she almost had a historic season for Fullerton College. Excuse me, let me take that back. She had a historic season for Fullerton College. She wins the Orange Empire Conference Championship. That, of course, was held at Rancho San Joaquin. And for the second straight year, Fullerton College got themselves an Orange Empire Conference crown. Last year, it was Chelsea Gutierrez, who we also interviewed on the Coaches Show. Last year, she ended up shooting a 77.4 on average. Catherine Lee shot a 75.9 on average, winning the Orange Empire Conference Championship. And when you look at it, in terms of history for the Fullerton College Hornets, Catherine Lee sits at number 2 right behind Ensu Jeon with a season average 74.2 for Jeon and Catherine Lee 75.9. Second best in Fullerton College history in terms of season average. She had a historic year for the Hornets. Not to mention, you also have to look at someone like Ileana Fernandez. 4th place finish for Fullerton College in the Orange Empire Conference. That's not 4th place on the team. That's in the conference. Fullerton College had 2 different athletes who were in the top 4 in the Orange Empire Conference. Of course, when you take a look at Ileana Fernandez, 78.3 on average. Alyssa Vasquez finishes in the top 20 as well. So you have these big-time finishes for Fullerton College, and it leads them to an Orange Empire Conference champion and also qualifying for those additional rounds.
And for those of you out there that are golfers, Ileana is lucky if she's 4'11", and she hit everything down the middle. We followed our young women that played, had a great time when we were out there, and they are all excellent athletes and student athletes, to say the least. And the reason I bring this up is because we get teased, because Ryan Osborn will tell you what's going on at Fullerton College, and Ryan will tell you about the water polo team and all the women that are student athletes that have brought home championships. And people scoff at us. They'll make little remarks. Oh, there they go again, talking about the women. Hey, let's get back to football. Well, I'm going to bring it up because it's been talked about, and I got 2 other gentlemen that will get into this conversation with me. Guys, it's been 50 years since Title IX has been passed. If you don't know what Title IX is about, it's an equal rights amendment that was passed. It's not just an amendment to protect sports. It's to protect everything that is federally funded, and that's where colleges come into play and college athletes come into play. It seems like people scoff at women athletes. Women athletes, if you look at the story about the Hawaiian water polo high school team, they were told when they had no place to train, well, the ocean is out there. So if you want to do water polo, why don't you go out in the ocean and train in the ocean? You can't use the young man's facility. We at Fullerton College, those at Cypress College, our sister student, should know that when we're building facilities, not only do we build wonderful facilities, because we talk about all the great football stadiums that are getting built, softball fields for the young ladies, better facilities for national champions that have a water polo program that brings in everybody. Women's basketball, women's volleyball, it's about time that we all caught up with the rest of the world. It's 2022, and I tell you what, it's a little sad that the women are still left at the back end of the trail when it comes to athletics.
Mark, you mentioned that. I was seeing a story on social media the other day where it is a female athlete who is presenting her case of her university, her college, her organization that she's at, and very simple, she was a softball player. Didn't have the equal opportunity that the baseball players did, because you take a look at the field inequalities, the training inequalities, also the uniform inequalities. It starts from top to bottom. It's not just stadiums. It's also where they're able to train, how they're able to train, what time are they able to train as well. You see a lot of inequalities from the men's side of sports to the women's side of sports, and very simple. If you're going to celebrate Title IX, and start putting it on social media and start talking about how all the different achievements people have had in that history, you have to take steps to create equality where you haven't had it before.
Well, here's what bothers me, Ryan. Schools like to promote championships. They like to promote national championships. So you take everybody's championship and say, hey, come to my school. I've won 14 national championships. Nobody says, hey, 10 were by the women and 4 were by the men. Look at the softball program at UCLA. They can go, they talk about John Wooden, but look at the championships in softball. When they sell it to athletes, we've won 24 national championships. Long Beach State does it with volleyball. Who wins the national championships in volleyball? The women at Long Beach State. It's about time, if you're going to use their names to promote your college, then you know what? It's about time to upgrade their programs. So if they're as great as you say they are, pay the piper and give them an opportunity. I mean, Title IX, who is sitting in the booth with us here right now, has been around. And Corey Neyland, I know this is a subject that bothers the heck out of you, seeing the inequalities when it comes to women in sports.
Yeah, and Ryan mentioned it. It's equal opportunity. Equal rights is fine, but equal opportunity. You can have equal rights. Equal rights is swimming in the ocean and practicing. Equal opportunity is having the same facilities across the board at every single level, and that's what it comes down to. You talk about Hawaii and other social media. There was OEC last year with Riverside City College and the women's basketball team. Go check out that story. It's a problem, and it needs to be resolved. You say 2022 and got to catch up to the times. Well, the times haven't changed, and it's a travesty that we're still talking about this situation. If you want equality and you really respect and you want to show the respect instead of lip service, there needs to be no committees, no reforms to talk about and have a committee to make such reforms. It just needs to happen now. Doesn't matter what it costs, and get it done.
You mentioned that, Corey, and that's one thing that has always irritated me is that you see much made about, okay, in the news, there's an inequality here with this athletic program, an inequality here with this team, with the men's side and women's side. And then what's the next thing you hear? Oh, they created a committee, so that way there can be some improvements, and they're going to review it. That does absolutely nothing to me. If you're going to create equality, go out and do it. Present the money. In fact, you need to go out personally. If you are a high-ranking official at a school, you need to be able to go out and present yourself to not only the men's program, but the women's programs as well. Show that you support both of your programs. Show that you support your athletics program as a whole. Not just presenting yourself at a football game, not just presenting yourself at a men's basketball game, but show up to the different sports, maybe like a women's water polo like we're talking about, a national champion, maybe a women's golf, to see the Orange Empire Conference champion and a state contender as well. It's unacceptable for people to not show support for these athletes, not women athletes, not female athletes. They are athletes, and they need to get the respect as such.
Yeah, and guys, I mean, Corey, I'm going to throw it back at you because Ryan brings up a great point. How many times will you correct people and say, don't call them women basketball players, call them basketball players? And we have had the pleasure of doing an NAIA team. I love to always bring up this story. They won a national championship, and we used to hear young men say to us, oh, well, if we played against them, we would end up beating them, even if it was a pickup game. And Corey Neyland used to look at him and say, guys, you want to come out and play against the girls? And Mark and I will lay down bets on who's going to walk away because they were some of the most talented. So turn around next time. Check out the women's program. So when we talk about it, hey, if nobody else is going to promote it, it's going to get promoted here on sportsnetusa.net with Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, and Mark Pavlovich, because we look at them as all athletes, and it's about time that people start going out and saying, you know what, let's go watch that water polo game, that volleyball game, and it doesn't matter what the gender is, here on sportsnetusa.net.
And here's the other thing, too, Mark, about this. As you're finishing up there, these teams that we have covered, like the women's golf team, like the women's water polo team, volleyball on campus as well, they are some of the most cool people that you can go out and interact with as well, because there have been countless times where I'll go out to water polo or even women's golf where these athletes will walk up to you and strike up a conversation, talk all about their sport with you, or they'll just talk about something funny that's going on with the program, or tell you, hey, you know what, we're going to use these uniforms today, and this is the reason why, because they are athletes and they look at their programs, they look at their sports, and they say, you know what, yes, I'm using this sport to get me to the next level. Yes, I'm using this sport because I enjoy it to be able to promote myself. But they realize it's there to also have fun, and they also have the ability to go up to you and say, I'm here because I love doing what I do.
Well, I met a former water polo player today when I was out there that is in med school right now, and she attributed it all to starting off with getting through college because of water polo. And you have to keep those programs alive to keep those young ladies' dreams alive. And it's about time we start spending as much, like Corey said, on them as we do with the young men here in the community college level. 1:46 to go. It's the Hornets 17, San Diego Mesa 7 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. We'll take a quick look around to see what's going on in the CCCAA.
So when you mentioned that, Mark, taking a look here in Southern California, a game that finished earlier, Riverside 45-10 over top of El Camino 45-10. Once again, as they go to 8-0 this season, they're basically going to stay at number 1 because that's the way that things work in the CCCAA top 10 rankings. But a big-time matchup that finished earlier today, 46-20, Butte takes down Sierra. And if you remember from our rankings talk last week, Sierra was above Fullerton College in the rankings. So that's a big final if you are a Fullerton College fan. Cerritos 7-1. They end up getting back into the win column after a loss last week, 35-20 over top of Palomar, who's having a nice season at 5-3. And then Golden West 46-18 over top of San Bernardino Valley, a final. Golden West will go to 7-1 this season. Here in Southern California, Bakersfield and Long Beach, everyone kind of looking at that conference and saying it could be a toss-up at the end of the season because
Brian,
no one really knows.
Could be.
It's going to be a toss-up.
They put up all the teams in a bag, shake them up, and whoever comes out first is the winner.
And the reason why we say that is because Ventura has already lost in conference play, Bakersfield has already lost in conference play, and so has Long Beach. So that is going to be an interesting final to see later on today. Rounding out Southern California, outside of Fullerton, East LA, and Canyons, it's Canyons 20, East LA 7. That is going into the third quarter of play. And Ventura hosting Allen Hancock, 23-10. Ventura with the lead over top of Allen Hancock. That is going into the half. So back here at Fullerton, it is Fullerton College and San Diego Mesa, 17-7. Fullerton College with the 10-point lead as we get set for this second half of play. So back to the voices of the Fullerton College Hornet football team, Mark Pavlovich and Corey Neyland.
Corey, I was a little surprised looking at the stats. It's one of the few nights where rushing hasn't been the food of the day. It's been the arm of the young man at quarterback for Fullerton College that's been leading the charge.
Yeah, I don't think it has had to be that way in that first half of play. They have a 10-point lead, but it's been more of a rhythm type of first half. Get your quarterback comfortable so they can be balanced and make big plays to close out in this second half.
Hornets will receive the football to start this second half. Line drive, punch shot, taken in the end zone. Looking to go up the middle, cuts off the right side, flipped upside down at the 25-yard line.
Christian Stewart flipped up by Ryan Odom. So before we get into this, George Silva's dad is down there. Got a chance to meet him. Very nice gentleman, and you know it's wonderful to go out and meet the parents of the athletes, meet the relatives of the athletes, because you can see that personality on the field, where they get that personality from in the stands.
Tyrell Green Jr. comes in at running back. Nunez stays in at quarterback. First down and 10. At the 25, up by 10 as we start the second half of play here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Nunez pump fakes. Here comes the pressure. Gets knocked off his feet. Once again, dodges away, steps, flips it up in the air, back to the 30. And a nice little heads-up play by the quarterback, because what you do is you look for the open man, and he found Cameron Woods right there. gain of 8 on the play.
Well, it's a nice little play because he has big hands and didn't fumble the ball because it was all willy-nilly while he was scrambling.
More Willie or Nilly?
More nilly on that one. But again, positive play for 8 yards, almost 9 yards, and you're moving the chains. Look for a big run for Tyrell Green Jr. Hasn't really had a chance to go off yet.
2nd down and 2 across the 30. Tyrell Green Jr. gets up, stays on his feet. 1st down for the Hornets. Move the chains at a gain of 5. Be a 1st down and 10 at the 39. So we'll see if they start running the ball a little, if the green machine can get moving here. They hand it off to him again. This time he gets hit in the backfield, loss of 1.
And that's just Ryan Odom shooting the gap before the blocking got a chance to initiate. Up front is Peroni, Green, that's Sherrod Green. Sebastian Medina moves from the tackle position to the guard position on the right side, George Silva and Daniel Modelis.
Gibson and Koenig to the far side of the field. Broy and Smith to the near side of the field. Tyrell Green goes in motion. They go back this way. Flanker screen goes to C.J. Broy, and he loses a yard on the play.
Yeah, it was a missed tackle on the left side. Silva missed the tackle a little bit too quick, came on the inside, and Silva was on the outside. But very good defense by the Olympians, have a renewed freshness.
So it gets marked at the 38. It's going to be a 3rd down and along 11s. Nunez looks over. Big 3rd down play for San Diego. They bring pressure. Going across the middle of the field, trying to get away, but can't. On a beautiful defensive play after Koenig gets it, coming across on a little delay for a gain of maybe 2 on the play.
Yeah, he couldn't get any separation from Michael Harkins, and that was exactly the opportunity that the Olympians needed to get a 3-and-out to start the second half as Cam Brown is back deep for the punt.
So Brown is deep. He's going to stand at the 17, steps up a little. Here comes pressure. Brown's going to let it hit the ground, and it's going to take a roll for the Hornets all the way down to the 8. With 11:38 to go, it's Fullerton, San Diego 17, San Diego 7 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
53-yard kick. So nice job and nice leg by Luke Mamana. And also George Silva's dad is down there, and Cassius and Kadari Kearns' family, all the way from Illinois, enjoying the game. I wanted to give a shout out to you and Ryan. They enjoy the broadcast. Say we don't have, we're not too serious up here. We just have you guys like to have a good time. Yes, we do. It's a pleasure meeting all of you, and enjoy a safe trip.
Gunnar Gray comes in. Josh Butler, the running back. 1st down and 10 at the 8. Throw it quickly over into the flat. Gain of, I'm going to say 5.
Good move by Owens.
Oh, they gave him a nice spot on that. It's going to be a gain of 8 on the play.
It's that spin, Mark. He spins so well, picked up 3 yards on it.
Owens comes to the near side of the field. In the slot next to him is going to be Sullivan. Butler still at running back. Hand it off to Butler. Goes around corner on the far side of the field. That should be enough, and it should move the chains. 1st down for the Olympians. Owens again comes to the near side of the field. Sullivan will stay in the slot here on the near side of the field. Butler running back, Gray at quarterback. 1st down and 10 at the 19 for San Diego. Hand it off to Butler. Butler goes off left tackle, breaks the corner, stays on his feet, gets run out of bounds at the 36-yard line.
And that play was set up by Robert Rojas, who led the way as he pulled Butler. Easy pickings on that left side, and they found something that they like, Mark, with Butler.
So Owens comes in. Latonka now in at running back on a little delay. Comes around on the other side.
And they are exploiting the right side of that that defensive line. The left side of that line, Mark, led by Cameron Stoffel, is just doing damage against Amari Williams and Ant Harris.
So Latonka gets a gain of 8. Stays in the backfield. Owens and Sullivan still here on the near side of the field. Gray looks things over. Gives it to Latonka, who cuts back, goes the outside, refuses to go down across the 50, stays on his feet down to the 45. And Corey, everything seems to be going back to the left side of the line of scrimmage for the Olympians.
Yeah, and it's just wanting it more on that left side of the line of scrimmage, like you said, because the blocking, it's not even zone blocking scheme. It's just helmet on helmet, moving the defenders out of the way.
Owens to the far side of the field. Sullivan to the near side of the field. Jaden B, tight end on the far side of the field for the Olympians. Latonka again goes around the left side, and they're averaging 8 yards every time they go around. But there should be, Corey said he saw a flag on the play.
Yeah, either the guard, that was either Gonzalez or Stoffel on the left side, grabbed a hold and spun around a Fullerton defender right at the line of scrimmage.
So it's going to move the Olympians back. So San Diego Mesa, who had things going, gets one of the few penalties in this game. Not many penalties in this game. Give it to the officials on the field.
Yeah, you definitely like the flow, and let's see if Brian Crooks, here's a cliche for you, dials one up and brings the pressure.
So they move it back to the 46. First down and 20 for San Diego. Schicker now in the slot to the near side of the field with Jackson and Owens. Gray goes back, goes up far side of the field, overshoots everybody, and a flag as Sullivan gets a flag called on him. And of course, Corey, I've got to ask you what you saw on the flag.
It's got to be a hold because pass interference is not catchable. So it's going to be a hold and an automatic first down.
So defensive holding against the Hornets. Going to take it up to the marker. Automatic first down. So first and 10 at the 45. San Diego Mesa trying to get something going. We get both tight ends move. Elliott Pirelli straight up the middle. And once again, exploitation. Latonka just is ripping up the center and the left side of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and dropped by Kadari Kearns. Now, that time it was a zone scheme because all the blocking sealed that left side designed to cut back at the hash.
Gain of 8, second down, and a long 2 for the Olympians. If it's not broke, don't change it. Breaking a tackle should have been dropped for a loss. And, of course, not after he breaks a tackle.
Eric Hale there in the backfield as he scoots forward.
It's going to bring up a third down and a long 2. Butler comes back in the game at running back.
I also want to thank the San Diego fans for joining us here on SportsNetUSA.net. The Olympians with a strong contingent as well.
Owens goes to the far side. Jackson in the slot next to him. Sullivan comes in near side. Butler at running back. Gray at quarterback. They hand it off to Butler. Butler tries to get to the tackle position and is stopped right there for a loss.
And that's Keon Marshall and Tyler Carter. Marshall came in with 8 tackles, but the last 3 games being seen significantly in that middle. And Tyler Carter just keeps doing good things when he's in.
6:40 to go here in the third quarter. 4th down and 5. And San Diego is going to go for it. Owens quickly comes over to the near side of the field with Jackson. They go 5 wide. Gray in an empty backfield. Sullivan in the slot on the far side of the field. Try and get the Hornets to jump. Gray, pump fakes, was going to step up and get sacked for a loss.
And what they were trying to work on the right side of the field, they were trying to work the slot receiver out. Good communication by Max Ahoya and Kadari Kearns to communicate, I got middle, I got side, no matter what happens, we switch. And man-to-man perfectly covered, allowed the defensive line to get in there and get the sack, turnover on downs.
So it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Hornets at the 40 with 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter. It's Fullerton 17, San Diego Mesa 7 on Sportsnet USA.net. Tyrell Green Jr. comes back in the game at running back. Nunez looks things over. Goes back. Pump fakes. Going to go deep to Smith. Smith couldn't beat his coverage. An incomplete pass. Bradley Fye makes a nice defensive play for the Olympians, staying there on one-on-one. 2nd down and 10 at the 40. C.J. Broy to the near side of the field. Smith in the slot next to him. Gibson to the far side of the field. Koenig in the slot next to him. 2nd down. Nunez going back again this way. This time, try to go to Smith again. Incomplete pass.
And again, you wonder the play calling on the outside. They're trying to get to the outside. But you like the play call because they see matchups that they like for Jordan Smith.
So Smith stays in the slot on the near side. Broy outside of him. Gibson on the far side of the field. In the slot is Aiden Koenig.
Mark, I'd go 3 times in a row.
They hand it off to Tyrell Green Jr. up the middle, a gain of 1 on the play. So 3 quick plays, and the Hornets give the ball back to San Diego Mesa. So Brown comes back in. He'll be deep. Cam Brown will stand at about the 22-yard line for the Olympians. Low snap, gets it off. Brown puts his arm up and calls for a fair catch, and they're going to mark him down on the 15.
But you see what they were trying to do on the offensive side of the ball? They were trying to change up the rhythm, change up what you've seen from that first series in the first half to this second series. So you see the mindset. You see, okay, we're not going to say the same in the same rudimentary offensively called game. They try to change it up. You know, you kind of like it.
5:11 to go. This is a 10-point game. Mesa hanging around the street corner. Beware of somebody you can't get out of your neighborhood, because the Hornets don't feel like they belong there, and San Diego says, oh, yeah, we do. Josh Butler comes back in at running back. Gunnar Gray at quarterback. Hornets come. Hand it off to Butler, this time around the right side. And these runs are right off tackle. They're off the outside hip on both sides of the tackles for San Diego.
Yeah, just good blocking. Masahoy was coming from the corner on the left side. He takes the outside route, and it's just simply the perfect play called. He takes the outside route. They run off tackle on the inside. Good play call.
Jaden B now at the tight end on the left side. They follow B around the left side. Butler gives a little push, gets a gain on the way, a gain of 3. So Butler
in the first half had 13 yards rushing here. Had 13 yards on the last carry.
Josh Butler averages 38 yards a game every time he plays for San Diego. 2nd down and 7, right at the 27. Hornets come up, hand it off to Butler again, goes off the left side. Ball comes out. It's going to be down. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and makeable for San Diego Mesa. We're under 4 minutes here in the 3rd quarter. 3:59 to go. It's the Hornets 17, the Olympians 7 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, and the old guy holding on tight. Owens to the near side of the field. Jackson in the slot next to him. Sullivan to the far side of the field. Latanka now in at running back for the Olympians. Change the play at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down 7. Gray looks over. 10 on the play clock. Comes up. Goes down deep. Looks for Sullivan. Tries to get it. Flag on the play.
Now that is good defensive play by Cassius Kearns. Antoine Sullivan was pushing as well. That's to keep your hanky in the pocket. But they're going to call defensive pass interference because they're going to say impeding progress, impeding route.
So they mark it up to the 44, 1st down and 10 with 3:19 left here in the 3rd quarter. Schicker comes to the near side of the field. Bracketed by Owens and Jackson. 1st down and 10 at the 44. Gray looks over the defense. They back out. They come at the corner. And stuff Butler after a gain of about a half a yard on the play. So Latanka now in at running back. So Schicker, Owens, Jackson again bunched up near side of the field. Now Jackson goes in motion. Gray goes back. Gray throws up. Gets it to Owens. Owens at the 40, crosses the 40 all the way down to the 38.
And that's Branson Tiedemann slipped as Owens was making the cut. That's why he was so wide open in the middle. But again, they're moving the chains. They're getting into Fullerton territory. Up till now, the defense hasn't broke as they still have this 17-7 lead.
Makai Elliott now the tight end in the slot next to Sullivan on the far side of the field. 1st down and 10, right at the 37. Gray slowing the pace down. Latanka again gets it down to the 35. We're under 2 minutes here in the 3rd quarter, and it's San Diego Mesa closing in at the thing. It's the Hornets 17, Mesa 7. Here on Sportsnet, USA.net, as we have a player down, so it's an official timeout on the field. So with an official timeout on the field, 1:34 to go, it's Fullerton 17, Mesa 7 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
And speaking of other scores, Cerritos, Cerritos, Mark, is 7-1.
Good football team.
35-20 winners over Palomar today.
Who?
I'm sorry. Palomar.
There we go. All right. Want to make sure you get that right.
The Comets.
That's it.
Golden West. 46 winners over San Bernardino.
Ryan Osborn watching other things besides the football game here on Sportsnet, USA.net. 2nd down and 8. Gray fakes it. Looks for the middle of the field. Incomplete pass. Go ahead, Corey. Did you have other updates too?
No, I was going to say luckily that was incomplete and a bad throw because it was going to be picked by Kearns. Other scores, I got one Victor Valley 31-16 winners over Grossmont. Other scores down here, Moore Park 26-8 at halftime over LA Valley.
Gilpin comes in near side of the field. Schicker in the slot. 3rd down and 8. Right at the 35. Gray goes back. Here comes the pressure. Looking for a screen. Can't pull it off. Brian Crook sells out. The offensive play was right, but he just could not get it to his open man.
Yeah, because that's Eric Hill right again. He was in the mouthpiece of Gunnar Gray, forces that bad throw for an incomplete pass. And the other score I wanted to get to, it was 20-7 at halftime, Canyons over East LA. 21-20 now, East LA over Canyons at the end of the 3rd quarter. That's a tough team.
Canyons looking like their year's coming to an end. Big 4th down for the Hornets. They come again. Gilbert throws it up. Push on the back. Incomplete pass. Gilpin thought he had it, but the ball hits the turf, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, because Max Ahoya had perfect position. He was the one who came down with the ball and knocked it to the ground.
I thought he'd intercepted it.
Yeah, and it dropped down to the ground, and because it was lying there, Gilpin in the same situation could have easily been pass interference. But he was in the same situation, same spot, landed on the ball, and the officials say incomplete. And let's see if we see Malik Winston break off something.
So Malik Winston in at running back. Brian Crook's defense once again stepping up to keep the Hornets in a comfortable lead. They pitch to Malik, looking for an opening. Gets through a small gap and across the 40-yard line.
Connor Battaglia there trailing and making the stop on Malik. We also want to thank former Hornet players always for listening and watching as Malik limps off the field, coming in as Green Jr. We always appreciate their input and feedback.
So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 3 as we're out down the 22 seconds. Tyrell Green Jr. now at running back. They hand it off to Tyrell Green Jr. Gets across the 45. That'll be a 1st down for the Hornets. So let's see if the Hornets run it as we're down to the last 3 seconds. 2, 1, and as we come to the end of the 3rd quarter, it's the Hornets 17, the Olympians 7, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Don't forget, Fullerton College, student athletes are all in, united in serving our campus, local communities by supporting causes that make a difference. Join them and be all in too. Food drive for Fullerton College, the Chris Lamb and Tony Dubois Walker, Memorial Food Bank. The food bank is experiencing a large increase in the number of students in the need of food. So, hey, drop off your canned foods, bring them in, help out students when they wake up in the morning. You could bring in boxes of oatmeal, cereal, or anything else. They're looking for something to eat. They're not out there working at jobs. They're getting educations. They're doing outside activities. This is the nicest thing in the world, and you can be a contributor. Just every time you come to an athletic event, bring those canned goods and drop them off to the all-in box here at Fullerton College. We start the fourth quarter. The Hornets are up by 10 and would like to make a long, lingering, and non-tintillating drive for 7 points. Nunez goes out, looks back, throws it, easy pitch and catch for a first down. And Jordan Smith catches it easily, and it looks just like pitch and catch when Jordan catches the football.
Yeah, Nunez moves well, rolling to his right. That's his second completion.
First down and 10. Nunez pump fakes, looks for Smith, and it was there to be picked off as he throws a line drive. And Corey Neyland, you said over the top, and he had the receiver.
Yeah, you got to get some arc on that one. Just like you're shooting a three, get some arc, lay it down in your receiver's hands, and that would have been 6. Good recovery.
C.J. Broy goes to the far side of the field with Smith. Aiden Koenig in the slot. Gibson to the near side of the field. Second down and 10 for the Hornets, just across the 40. Nunez looks. He's going to pull it down. Throws it to Jordan Smith, who sneaks out, but gets hit, and the ball's knocked out. Should be an incomplete pass.
And Will Gibson has been quiet. He's been covered pretty well by Chris Jackson tonight. He's going to come out of the ball game now, but he's been pretty quiet. He can be another big third down receiver.
They called that a completion. A little surprised on that one. Aiden Marquez now in at tight end for the Hornets, along with Cameron Woods. 3rd and 13. Woods goes in motion from left to right. Give it to Malik Winston. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, and so the Hornets will punt the football away. Nobody can get on the board here in this second half. Well, it must be the weather, the bleak of night, the mood of Halloween and Day of the Dead around the corner, because the offense for both these teams have become part of Day of the Dead in this second half here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
I thought they just had allergies like me, all stopped up.
High punt, signaled for a fair catch, and caught. Right at, see where they mark it out, they're going to give it to him right at the 17. With 13 minutes left in the fourth quarter, it's Fullerton 17, Mesa 7 on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, and the old guy calling the action here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Owens comes out to left. Tatanka in at running back. Gunnar Gray at quarterback. Looking for the big play for San Diego Mesa. Haven't found it. Sullivan goes in motion from left to right. Comes back to the left. They look for it. Throw it out in the flat. Latonka takes it. Tries to get away. Gets up to the 20. Gain of 1 on the play.
And that's a play what Saddleback has done years upon years upon years. Get downfield and just have your back split out and try to make them one-on-one, as well as Fullerton did in the first half with their running backs.
Jackson stacks behind Owens. Latonka, the running back. So they go with a double stack on both sides. Gunnar Gray looks at things over. Big second down, goes back, looks to go deep. Nobody there, and the receiver goes down.
Jackson simply tripped. He's doing a short corner route, and he trips on the cut.
So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 8 with 12:26 to go here in the fourth quarter.
And if you're an Olympian fan, you got to ask yourself, did Fullerton really stop our off tackles and sweeps to the left side of the field? I don't think so, so why get away from that?
Sullivan to the near side of the field. Big 3rd down for San Diego. The Hornets are coming. They come at the corners. They back off. They're still coming. Brian Crook selling out. Going over here, up in the air, incomplete pass. Sullivan was there, but the defense was better.
Every time Christian Cross plays, he makes a play. He's out of Missouri, Central Hazelwood High School, and another nice job by Cross with his 5th pass breakup of the season.
So the Hornets play defense, and now it's become that defensive battle here in the second half. Who's going to make the first mistake? If it's San Diego, it pads the lead for the Hornets. If it's the Hornets, that lead gets cut quickly to 3. A lot of pressure. Big kick. Jordan Smith backs up, says, no, I'm not going to touch it. It's going to drop at the 30, rolls down, and it's going to die at the 26. 12:05 to go here in the fourth quarter. Fullerton's up by 10. It's the Hornets 17, the Olympians 7 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Next week on Sportsnet, USA.net, hey, basketball is back. November 3rd, doubleheader, Cypress College here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
That'll be the men at 5, the women at 7.
Tyrell Green Jr. in at running back. First down and 10. Right at the 26-yard line. Corey keeps waiting for the green machine to floor it. He takes it, goes the outside, dips, cuts, and gets across the 30. They're going to mark him down at the 34.
And they're just getting it going. George Silva clapping. He realizes it's our time now. That means the offensive line unit taking control and finishing this game. Also, you got a soccer doubleheader on November 1st with East LA.
At Cerritos, men and women on SportsNetUSA.net. Tyrell Green Jr. says, well, if the left side's so good, I think I'll go again. First down, Fullerton College.
And it's not a regular sweep play. It's just something that's bounced to the outside. Tyrell Green Jr. has the opportunity of reading his blocks and either cutting it inside or outside on the play.
So that's going to be down at the 37. C.J. Broyd, near side of the field. Jordan Smith in the slot. Gibson to the far side of the field. Koenig in the slot. Green at running back. This time, quarterback keeper, right up the middle on tackle. Gets to the 40, gain of 3. Bring up a second down and 7 for the Hornets.
I want to see that same play as an option stop and hit Will Gibson on a post pattern coming from that left side.
Garrett Campbell stalking the sidelines, looking for the big play. The Olympians only jump. Campbell yells out a play. Tyrell Green cuts back to the center. Doesn't go down. Gets a gain of 3 on the play. Looked like he was stumbling, but he stumbles forward when he stumbles.
Yeah, he stumbled forward. Didn't get forward progression. It looks like he should have gotten to the 44 instead of the 43. And again, he breaks the first contact. And how many times have we seen that this season?
Malik Winston comes in now at running back. Partnered up there with Garnett Davis III. Garnett Davis III gets it. Malik Winston led the charge, but he didn't get there to first down. He got across the 45. It is 4th and a yard. With 9:32 to go, the Hornets leave the offense on the field.
John Carroll Jr. was there to make the stop just before the first down marker, and they're going to kick it away.
So once again, nobody can get in the end zone. We play to the 20s and we stop. Well, we don't even get that far because it's being played at the 30 to the 30. Signal for a fair catch right at the 25. So Well, it's the middle of the field football game here on SportsNetUSA.net. 9 minutes to go, and the Olympians are just there. And the Hornets in the second half have been going nowhere. Back and forth. Tick, tick, tick. You're up by 10. See if the defense can make another big stop for Fullerton College here on SportsNetUSA.net.
In the comments, got a chance to meet Silva's dad today. I was about to stay down there with them and just hang out. But I know you missed me.
We would. Especially Ryan. You know how talkative he is. Gunnar Gray goes back, looks across the middle of the field, right there to Owens. Owens gets taken out at the 45-yard line. So move the chains.
And what they've done with the out and up route is then they put 2 receivers out there, so one goes out, the other goes up. And again, they catch Fullerton, Kearns, and Ahoya taking that up receiver.
So Gunnar Gray in at quarterback. Owens and Jackson. Sullivan to the far side of the field. First down and 10 at the 45. Gray goes back, throws back the other. Schicker gets it. First time it's been in his direction. Gain of 9 on the play. So Schicker gets 9. Cross midfield. Second down and 2. We're at the 8-minute mark. Plenty of time in this game for San Diego to pull the stunner. Gunnar Gray looks over. No panic. Changes plays, calls out things, looks, goes back. 3-step drop. Another first down. This time Sullivan doesn't get taken down. So Sullivan grabbed high. Well, Corey's telling me that's Jackson. I thought that was Sullivan over there.
25? 25. Spot. 29. 59.
First down and 10 for San Diego. Across the 30, they're on the move.
Direct snap to 28.
That time, taken right there and run out of bounds was Josh Butler. Gain of 2 on the play. 7 minutes to go. And again, we'll see if San Diego can do anything. This is what the teams have done. They'll get down about to the 22-23. They lose 5 yards. They lose 6 yards. They go backwards. They get a penalty. Both these teams have played this way in the second half. San Diego sneaking a little closer. At the 28. Josh Butler, a running back. Owens, the near side of the field. Ball is dropped, and as soon as I say people move backwards, well, San Diego moves backwards.
Chris Harm gives credit for the sack, the easiest sack of his season, as they lose 7 yards, Mark. And here's one on a 3rd down and 15. Does Brian Crooks come at him? Or do they lay out and keep the ball in front to prevent a first down?
Owens to the near side of the field. Jackson in the slot. On the far side of the field is Sullivan. Elliott, the tight end. On the left side here. Jackson goes in motion. Gunnar Gray looks the middle of the field and short arms it because he had a receiver that was open coming across the field.
And it's the pressure up front making the short arm happen, and that was one of the first times that Fullerton dropped back into a zone to try to confuse him. And yeah, 4th down and 15 with this amount of time left in the game.
5:50 to go. Gunnar Gray brings them out. Owens, Jackson, Schicker in the near side. Sullivan to the far side. Josh Butler, the running back. 4th down and a lot. Here they come. Gunnar Gray steps away. Nobody's on him. across the middle of the field, and he short-armed it again, and he had Owens wide open in the middle.
Because the pressure was coming, he didn't have time to set his feet and make the throw. And because of that, the short pass, the hop.
Coach is down at the far end looking at us guys going, listen to these guys. They're having more fun than we are on this broadcast on sportsnetusa.net. That's okay. Just keep listening to us. We'll explain this game to you, and one day you'll know how to watch it like a grown-up, like we are here on sportsnetusa.net. So the Hornets, Tyrell Green turns the corner. Corey's going to take on one, gets a gain of 2 on the play. 5:35 to go, and the Hornets are up by 10. So second down and 8 for the Hornets. Tyrell Green in at running back. Shelvin, the up back. I formation for the Hornets. San Diego moves up. Give it to Tyrell. Stays on his feet. Gets a gain of 7 on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 1. So just short. 3rd down and 1 for the Hornets. So they keep Shelvin as the up back, Green as the deep back. Big 3rd down play with 4:20 to go.
Watch how many people are in the box at the 50-yard line. He gets to the second level, he's off to the races.
3rd and 1. He gets a 1st down up to the 45. So the Hornets up by 10, controlling the line of scrimmage. Corey Neyland, this offensive line, has not gotten enough love this season from everybody watching them.
Okay.
They were supposed to be the weak link. That's what we heard when the season started. And yet they seem to be able to make that push at the right time and place. 1st down and 10 at the 45, 3:31 to go. San Diego comes up, straight up the middle. Tyrell Green Jr. up the middle, looking for a block, getting caught, refuses to go down all the way down to the 25-yard line.
And that should get him close to the 100-yard mark in this game. And what you say about the offensive line unit? That's the weak link? Okay, let me pick up 30.
No, I said that they were called that at the beginning of the season.
I heard you say they're the weak link of this unit, and they just proved you wrong.
Wow. It's political season and the misrepresentation. 1st down and 10, right at the 25. San Diego moves up again. Shelvin opens up the hole. It's the up back. Again, Tyrell Green holds on to it. Clock is ticking, 2:34. And if you can to win a game, you're going to get timeout on the field. Timeout, San Diego Mesa with 2:31 to go. It's Fullerton 17, Mesa 7 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Hey, Phil, do you happen to know what Tyrell Green Jr. has for over total yards?
We are checking that right now.
Tyrell Green Jr. total yards?
Oh, we've got it.
Tyrell Green has 20 carries for 111 yards.
There you go. 20 carries for 111 yards in this game. Thank you, Phil. Phil Thurman, the SID here at Fullerton College. So, Corey, it didn't look like a 100-yard game.
Well, on that run, I thought he was close to 100, maybe at 100. I didn't know he was over 100. So 111 yards, averaging 106 coming into this game. So an impressive running back. At his average, he'll be all conference, and at least two of those offensive linemen will be first team all conference. Will Peroni might be an all-American, all-state at center.
Shelvin, the up back, 2nd down and 8. Tyrell Green coming around the right side, getting a block at the 20. Knocked out of bounds at the 8.
It's coming back. There was a hold on the outside. But you love that sweep play because Cable and Shelvin leading the way. I thought I was back in like 1976. As the sweep came around the corner, it brought me to 86. It brought me to 96. That's just 1946 football running down the field.
Well, I'm sure Coach Robinson, who's on the sidelines for the Hornets, said, you know what? Dad's probably looking at that saying student body right, student body left when they come around the corner. For those that are, non-USC fans, we'll explain that to you off the air one day.
I was going to say Tyrell Green Jr. looking like Gaston Green going around the left. See, I incorporate both my USC and UCLA fans to my left and right.
2nd down and 17. They move it back to the 30. A little lean. Goes straight up the middle, gain to the 30, so Malik Winston gets down to the 30. We're under 2 minutes here in the 4th quarter, and it looks like the Hornets are going to hold on 17-7 to go 3-0 in conference here on Sportsnet, USA.net. So with timeout on the field, it's Fullerton 17, Mesa 7. On Sportsnet, USA.net. Next week at Saddleback. Now, we'll find out if we're going to be broadcasting that game on Sportsnet, USA.net. Some of the schools have their own broadcast groups, and we'll restrict it to just that. So we'll ask kindly and see what they say to us.
Asking kindly, that means Ryan will do it. Mark, there was a bus coming through.
I was going to say, I've been run over 5 or 6 times. At my age, I'm like a cat. I only have so many lives left.
Here's a crystal cliche for you. You're resilient. You get right back up.
Wait a minute. Isn't that what you do? You paint a wall with resiliency? You can wipe off anything? 3rd down. Malik at running back. 3rd down and about 14. Hand it off to Malik, cuts back, goes straight up the middle, stays on his feet. Flag dropped in the backfield. The offensive line goes, wait, it wasn't me.
You've got to take the penalty because 4th down and let's say 5 or 6, you would go for it if you're Fullerton.
Well, and also you're in possible field goal range. So if you're going to back it up here, want to keep them out of field goal range.
That would be a possibly like 27-yard field goal. Not 37-yard field goal, excuse me.
So San Diego Mesa is going to move them back. But the time is working against them. They're down by 10 with 1:50 to go.
I'd decline it and make them go for it on 4th down or kick that field goal.
Yeah, I'm with you. I decline it also. I'm not going to give them an extra play, which they could do something on that extra play. And San Diego Mesa, with all the fans over there listening and watching SportsNetUSA.net, and the coaching staff said, well, the guys at Sportsnet know what they're doing. Let's decline the penalty. We all of a sudden realized that our coaches up here in the booth next to Ryan Osborn have learned a lot tonight, that learning curve. So it's 4th down. The Hornets are going to go for it on 4th down and a long 6. 1:50 to go. 4th down. Hand it off to Malik. Malik gets stuffed at the 20, so the clock will stop. And it'll be 1st down for San Diego with 1:45 to go. Be right at the 20. The Hornets up by 10. 17-7. On a fun second half, even though no points have been scored. San Diego needs to strike quickly and get an onside kick. Gunnar Gray goes back. Here comes the pressure. Throws out in the flat. Almost picked. Ball hawk and go over there.
And that's Kern. That's Casillas.
So Sullivan has it knocked away. Owens here to the near side of the field. Sullivan to the far side of the field. Jackson now goes to the far side of the field. Schicker comes to the near side of the field. Second down and 10. Gunnar Gray goes back. Throws it out in the flat. Sullivan immediately wrapped up at the 25. Clock ticking. Minute 29. 3rd down and 5. Need bigger plays than that if they want to try to pull the upset. Gunnar Gray steps out, feels the pressure, turns the corner, gets a 1st down. Steps out of bounds, stops the clock. Clock stops on a 1st down anyway. 1:13 to go. The Hornets 17. San Diego 7. Owens, near side of the field. Jackson in the slot next to him. 1st down and 10. At the 30. Hornets. 4 down, just coming after him. Time to throw. Throws over the middle. Ball knocked away at the last second. Don't be talking to anybody. Don't get a flag. Walk away from them.
Max Ahoya's had a tremendous game tonight. That's his 3rd pass breakup.
So 2nd down and 10. 1:08 left here in the 4th quarter. San Diego looking for a spark. The Hornets trying to put out the flame. Everybody walks up, man on man defensively. Gray goes back, pressure comes, throws it out in the flat. Incomplete pass. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10 at 1:04. So Owens, Jackson to the near side of the field. Sullivan to the far side of the field. 3rd down and 10. Gunnar Gray takes his time, looks over. Play clock at 3, 2, comes back, throws over the middle of the field, almost undercut and picked, and then deflected at the last second as they were trying to get it to Jackson. And, of course, defensive backs are now on the prey.
Yeah, these defensive backs are looking more and more comfortable as the season has gone on, and they're looking like that DBU history that they've established here under Phil Austin.
4th down and 10, play of the game. Hornets get the ball, game's over. San Diego gets a 1st. There's a slight hope, a flickering of opportunity, a chance to pull off an upset. Gonna great. Going deep. Down the middle of the field. Incomplete pass. No flag. And that is going to bring a turnover and should bring a victory to your Fullerton College Hornets here on SportsNetUSA.net. But the Hornets 17, the Olympians 7 on SportsNetUSA.net.
Defense looked good.
So class is dismissed. Don't forget, do your homework. Turn it in next weekend here on SportsNetUSA.net. Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland here on SportsNetUSA.net. So the Hornets can drop a knee a couple times and say, thank you, we're 3-0 in conference. San Diego Mesa will fall to 2-1. And the destiny is in the Hornets' hands. Next week at Saddleback, Golden West College around the corner here on SportsNetUSA.net. So your Hornets are going to walk away with a conference victory by beating Mesa 17-7. It's the Hornets 17, the Olympians 7, as they walk away with a victory and are now 3-0 in conference here on SportsNetUSA.net.